All right, ready to dive in. Today, we're looking at Alibaba's Qwen2.5-Turbo.
Yeah, this AI is really something else.
No kidding. It can process 1 million tokens of text. 1 million.
Can you imagine that?
Honestly, it's hard to even wrap my head around it.
It's like reading 10 novels at once and remembering every little detail.
It really makes you wonder what the future holds.
What's really incredible, though, is not just how much it can process, but the depth of its understanding. It doesn't just skim the surface.
Right, it goes deep into the meaning and the context.
Exactly.
It's not just speed reading, it's like it actually gets it.
Yeah, like a superpowered brain.
Speaking of brains, can we break down what a token is for those of us who aren't AI experts?
Sure. A token is basically a chunk of text that the AI uses to understand language.
Like breaking down a sentence into words and punctuation, right?
Exactly. And the more tokens an AI can process, the more complex and nuanced its understanding becomes.
Okay, so 1 million tokens means this thing can handle some seriously complex information. But how does all of this translate to real-world stuff?
Mhm.
What can Qwen 2.5 Turbo actually do?
Well, the possibilities are pretty much endless. Think about the legal field.
Lawyers are always buried in documents, right?
Exactly. Mountains of contracts, case law, all of that.
Like finding a needle in a haystack.
Exactly right. But imagine being able to upload all of that and have an AI analyze it in minutes, summarizing, identifying precedents, even pointing out loopholes.
Whoa, that would be a game changer.
Absolutely, freeing up so much time and mental energy.
And probably leading to fairer outcomes, too.
Yeah, ensuring that all relevant information is considered. It could really level the playing field.
I like that. What about academia?
Well, researchers are in a similar boat, drowning in information, trying to stay on top of the latest discoveries.
It's like drinking from a fire hose.
That's a great way to put it. But imagine an AI that can sift through thousands of papers, identifying trends, highlighting areas for further research.
Personal research assistant.
Exactly.
That's incredible. What about creative writing? Could it be used for that?
Absolutely. Helping authors build intricate worlds, making sure their stories are consistent, even analyze for plot holes or thematic inconsistencies.
Wow. It's like having a co-writer and a critic all in one.
Exactly.
It's almost too good to be true. But how does it all work? What's the secret sauce here?
Well, Qwen 2.5 Turbo uses some seriously innovative techniques. One key element is its memory management system.
How does it remember everything it reads? Like, how does that even work?
Imagine, instead of storing information in a linear way, it creates dynamic connections between different pieces of data.
Oh, so it's not just storing, it's about understanding the relationships between things.
Precisely. And that's where its optimized transformer architecture comes in.
Okay, now you're losing me a little.
Think of it like this. Trying to find a specific book in a massive library.
Okay.
The old way, you'd search every shelf one by one.
Right.
But Qwen 2.5 Turbo is like having a map that tells you exactly where that book is.
So it's about finding the information you need without wasting time on stuff you don't.
Exactly.
That's pretty clever. But all of this must require an insane amount of computing power, right? 1 million tokens.
You'd think so, but that's the beauty of it. It's designed to be incredibly efficient. It has these special attention mechanisms.
Attention mechanism.
Yeah, that let it focus on the most important parts of the text.
So it's processing smart, not just processing a lot.
Right. And on top of that, it uses advanced tokenization and contextual understanding to break down language and grasp meaning. Like we do.
Like we do as humans.
Yeah, but on a massive scale.
That's incredible. So we've got this incredibly powerful AI that can handle huge amounts of information, understand meaning, and do it all efficiently. But is it actually accessible? Can anyone use Qwen 2.5 Turbo?
That's what's exciting. Alibaba is committed to making it accessible to a wide range of users.
So how are they doing that?
They're offering APIs which let developers integrate Qwen 2.5 Turbo into their own applications and services.
So it's not just about Alibaba creating its own products. It's about giving other people the tools to build on this tech.
Yeah, exactly. They also have cloud services, so anyone can tap into the power of this AI.
Without needing their own supercomputer.
Right, which is a game changer for, smaller companies, startups, researchers.
Who wouldn't normally have access to this kind of cutting-edge tech.
Exactly.
It's pretty amazing. It seems like they've thought of everything.
They're really trying to make this accessible.
I love that.
Yeah.
But can you give us some concrete examples of how this is being used in the real world?
Absolutely. Let's go back to the legal field. Imagine a lawyer prepping for a big case.
Drowning in documents.
Exactly. Boxes and boxes, digital files, case histories. It's overwhelming.
It really is.
But with Qwen 2.5 Turbo, they could upload all of that. and ask specific questions.
Like what?
What are the strongest arguments in my client's favor? Or are there any precedents that support this case?
Instead of spending weeks or months doing that manually.
Right. They could get those answers in, like, no time. It could even analyze the opposing counsel's arguments, find weaknesses.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it'd give the lawyer a real edge.
Like a superpowered legal assistant.
Exactly. Now let's shift gears to academia. Think about a researcher trying to develop a new drug.
Okay, so they're looking at decades of research.
Clinical trials, complex data.
Right.
It's really hard to stay on top of it all.
Yeah.
But Qwen2.5-Turbo could analyze all of that, identify the most promising avenues for drug development, maybe even point out potential side effects that were missed in earlier studies.
So instead of being overwhelmed by all the information, the researcher can use the AI to find what's actually promising.
Exactly. And it's not just about analyzing existing research either. Qwen2.5-Turbo could actually help design more effective experiments.
Oh, wow. How so?
Well, it could look for potential biases or confounding factors in the way the research is set up.
So it's about asking better questions, not just finding answers.
Yes. Now, what about the creative industries? How could Qwen2.5-Turbo be used in art or storytelling?
Oh, I'm really interested in this one. Tell me more.
Okay, imagine a filmmaker who wants to make a movie that's really impactful.
Okay, I'm hooked.
They could use Qwen2.5-Turbo to analyze other successful films.
Not just box office numbers, but like what makes them emotionally resonant.
Yes. What makes people laugh, cry, connect with the characters?
And then use that information to inform their own creative process.
Precisely. They could get help crafting scenes, dialogue, characters that really resonate.
It's like having a whole team of story experts, but instead of just opinions, you're getting insights based on like actual data.
And imagine the possibilities for world building. For fantasy authors, game developers, it could help them keep everything consistent.
Or even generate new ideas, make sure the rules of their world make sense.
Exactly. And music, too.
Music.
Imagine an AI that can analyze different genres, different styles.
Find what makes them unique.
Right. And then a musician could use that to try new things, compose music for specific emotions.
That's wild. So many possibilities.
Truly endless.
It is really exciting, but I do wonder if there are any downsides to all of this. Like, do we risk becoming too reliant on AI?
Right. Like we might lose our own creativity.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a valid concern. We have to remember that AI, like this is a tool.
Right.
It can be used for good or for bad.
That's true of any tool.
Exactly. And it's up to us as a society to make sure that we're using it responsibly.
So how do we do that? How do we make sure AI enhances our lives, not like diminishes our humanity?
It starts with a conversation like we're having now.
Right. Being aware of the potential impact of AI.
Yeah. And thinking critically about how we want to use it, integrate it into our lives.
So it's not just on the developers and the tech people. It's a conversation we all need to be having.
Exactly. Philosophers, ethicists, artists, policymakers.
Creative people.
Yes, all of us.
Because AI is really a reflection of us.
It is. Of our values, our aspirations.
Which brings us to education, right?
Yes, absolutely. People need to understand how AI works.
How to use it responsibly.
And how to think critically about what it produces.
So it's not just about teaching people to code.
No, it's about critical thinking, digital literacy.
Being able to tell fact from fiction, recognize bias.
Right. Being informed citizens in a world that's driven by AI.
Exactly. And what about ethical guidelines for the development of AI?
Yes, absolutely crucial. Thinking about fairness, transparency, accountability.
The impact on human well-being.
All of that. It's not just about building the most powerful AI.
It's about building one that aligns with our values.
Exactly. And that takes collaboration, researchers, developers, policymakers, the public.
That sounds like a big task.
It is. But we need to have these conversations, set clear guidelines and regulations.
To make sure AI is used safely, ethically.
And for everyone's benefit.
You know, talking to you has actually made me feel optimistic.
Oh, good.
It's clear there are people who are really thinking about these things.
There are.
And who are working to ensure that AI is used for good.
Yes, there's a real awareness growing, which is encouraging.
I think so too. I believe that if we approach AI development with responsibility, focusing on human values, social good,
we can create a future where AI is empowering.
Where it enhances our creativity, helps us solve problems.
That's the future I want to see.
Me too.
Oh.
To our listeners out there, stay curious, stay informed.
Engage with this conversation.
Your voice matters.
It really does.
That's it for our deep dive into Qwen 2.5 Turbo.
Hope you enjoyed it.
We hope you found it insightful.
inspiring.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning.
And keep dreaming big.
The future is ours to create.
It is.